My dear students, today I am going to discuss the sectors of economy. I have already taught the two part of sectors of economy previously, but after that here previously we have discussed about the GDP, about the change in the different sectors, historical changes of different sectors, and now come to the next topic. So first, that is a very common topic, why most of the people are engaged in primary sector. Is it clear? This is a common question. Even though after independence our service sectors has increased up to 14%. So increase in service sector has increased up to 14%. Primary sector has increased up to 9%. Secondary sector has increased up to 3%. So every sector has increased, and due to that our GDP has also increased. And we have already discussed the contribution from the contribution in GDP is the maximum from the service sectors. After that primary sectors, after that is the secondary sectors, and the GDP is continuously declining from the primary sectors. So that is the development. These are the development after the independence. So here we find that it has increased at a faster rate, service sectors, and even the primary sector has also increased up to 9%, and the secondary sector has increased up to 3% ratio. So that is the given ratios are given. However, there is a question, why most of the people are engaged in primary sectors. So our answer will be, as we know that the service sectors and the secondary sectors has increased a lot, but our primary sector is also increasing at a slow rate. It doesn't matter. Second thing, the population, the growth of population is very high in compared to the growth of primary, secondary and tertiary sectors. So all the growing population can't be consumed either by the service sector or the secondary sector. That's why most of the people are engaged in the primary sectors. This is the main reason. Second reason, you can say that primary sector is related to the rural areas. So in the rural areas, even a small piece of land, a number of peoples are engaged, and they can easily get the food materials. So here there is no problem of survival of the life. But if they move towards the urban areas in search of job, either from secondary to service or service to secondary sectors, they face how to sustain their life. So no doubt in that areas, that is the hidden unemployment. Hidden unemployment. It is also known as second hidden unemployment, disguised unemployment. So what is the hidden or disguised unemployment? So this hidden unemployment or disguised unemployment refers to a situation in which more people are engaged in compared to required people. In other words, we can say disguised unemployment is a situation in which the more people are engaged in compared to required people. So if we remove some people from that particular sectors, there will be no change in output. So in the primary sectors, the hidden unemployment or the disguised unemployment, or even you can say underemployment, is also available, and it has increased the total number of more people in the primary sectors, or it has increased the total population of primary sector. Is it clear? Okay. So come, how we can create more employment in rural areas. More generation of more employment in rural area. So this is the most important. How can you generate more employment in rural areas? So first point here we can say through the development of agriculture.
जी.
Through the development of agriculture. Second, through the development of education. Third point, through the development of health facilities. Fourth, through the development of market, transportation. Fifth, self-employment. etc. So my question is, how we can generate more employment in rural areas? So there are different policies which is implemented by the government, and it must be properly utilized in the rural areas so that the people can get job opportunity, they can increase their wages. So these are the point. First, through the development of agriculture. So how the agricultural development take place? So most of the farmer in our country face the problem of irrigations and the problem of finance, because most of the farmers are poor. They are unable to utilize modern technique of irrigations, and they also face the problem of cash. So if the government provides irrigational facilities through the canal system, or making the dams, or opening a number of banks for the financial, automatically the agriculture sector will increase it, and it will provide more job opportunities. Now come to the through the development of education. In most of the villages, you have noticed, and I have also noticed, that there are a number of primary schools are available, but there is no high schools, college and universities. If more number of schools and colleges will be opened in the surrounding areas, not only the people will get the job opportunities in the rural areas, and a number of people will also get job opportunities. Infrastructure will also develop. A number of people will get job opportunity in the development of infrastructure. A number of teachers will implement themselves. So in this way, the job opportunities may be created. Like that, health facilities in the rural areas, only the primary health care centers are available. If number of hospitals will be opened, as a result a number of doctor, nurse, pharmacists will get the job opportunity, and the employment will increase in the rural areas. Market and transportation. Most of the densely populated areas, they have the market, but there some of the areas are remote and there is no transportation facilities. That's why the people are only produce those goods which is essential for the survival of life. So in other words, we can say they are dependent on subsistence farming. So in place of subsistence farming, they should produce the commercial goods, and commercial goods can be produced only when then there is the development of market and transportation. If the market and transportation will be developed in that areas, what will happen? The people will implement themselves for self-employment jobs. They will open the different kinds of shop, small scale industries, handicrafts may be developed in that areas, and they will be able to sell their product, and in this way we can say we can generate more employment in the rural areas. Is it clear? Okay. So as I discussed a number of points through the development of education, development of agriculture, healthcare centers, self-employment, market, financing system like bank, transportation and so on. Now the government has also taken some steps to create the job opportunities in the rural and even in urban areas, and it is known as poverty alleviation program. So poverty alleviation program is nothing, a program which is launched by the government to provide job opportunities to the landless farmer in the rural areas. So out of this, in your chapter only we have to discuss MNREGA. MGNREGA. MNREGA means Mahatma Gandhi. MG for Mahatma Gandhi, N for national, R for rural development, G for guarantee and E for act. So here E is the employment. Is it clear? So Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. So it was introduced in the year 2005. Okay. So the main aim was of this Employment Guarantee Act to provide the job opportunity, and the minimum days is 150 days. So the government here makes a guarantee of 150 days, and those who has enrolled their name in this planning or in this act, they will get the job opportunities for 150 days. And if the government fails to provide the job for 150 days, for that the government will give the compensation. Okay, and in this way the government also trying to create more employment in the rural areas. So in this way we have already completed how we can generate more employment in rural areas according to your chapter. Thank you.